guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to do something that we've done maybe once or twice before on the channel. I'm going to start doing it more periodically, probably every month or two, depending on how, I guess the alacrity in which I am maxing out champions and ranking them up to try for you guys. Instead of doing a guide on every single champion, which I will, a lot of these champions, especially fusions and stuff like that, I thought I would also kind of add this to the mix where I would take the last 5 champions that I've maxed out in a specific rarity and kind of do a video highlighting them all together on the same team if possible, but moreover really just going into detail. Okay, after a month or a week or a couple days depending on the champion, what are my final thoughts on this champion, or what are my thoughts as to now, this moment in time? Am I impressed by this champion after playing them around for a while, or am I kind of let down in this champion? So today we're going to start with legendary, but I have some really amazing champions I don't want you guys to miss out on coming in epic and rare, so subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, as YouTubers tell you until you're blue in the face. So today we're going to start with legendary, but again, I have epic and rares, last 5 champions, who's the best. Out of these champions that we're going to be spotlighting in today's video, man, there's one in particular, there's 2 really champions who I think are incredible here. To take a quick look at all of them, I just did a big guide on Lydia the Deathsiren. I've only had her for a couple days, so still opinion to be held for later in terms of how strong she really is. Is she the best champion in the game, or is she in the conversation? We'll talk a little bit more about her. There's Warchief, a Skinwalker legendary champion. We have Saito, who I'm going to be doing a full guide on over the coming week or two, who is an undead horde, one of the newer champions added to the game. We have Richtoff the Bold, not a new champion added to the game, but certainly a champion that's worth a look at. And we have Drockle the Gaunt. So Drockle the Gaunt was a fusion champion, a fragment summon champion, I believe. And yeah, so he'll be the kind of the support on this team. So let's see, I've been kind of stalling here to just tell you who the champion that I absolutely love out of this group, like insanely in love with this champion. And he just went, and you can see like a billion, aka 15 poisons landed. That is Richtoff the Bold. Man, this guy is an incredible, just powerhouse of a damage-dealing champion, and you guys are going to see that here in Ice Golem right now. The other guy who I absolutely love out of this group is, to be fair, 4 of these champions are worth 6-starring in my opinion, and they're all amazing. I mean, I guess any legendary is worth 6-starring because they could get a buff. But, it's really the Warchief who's really, really bad. Like, he's the one guy who I'm like, oh man, like, I'm never going to use this dude. I did use him in Faction Wars, so I guess I did find a use for him. I also put him in a shield set to get a little bit extra utility out of that guy. But again, we'll talk a little bit about all these champions. Saito impressed me from his damage. Like, he is a single target. He has 1 AoE, but mostly his big damage dealing abilities are single target, and they deal a ton of damage. Drockle the Gaunt, a lot of people hated on Drockle, but I gotta tell you, I consider him and Richtoff like hidden gem type champions, because man, they're really, really solid. Drockle's one of the best support champions really out there in the game, and he was a little bit more accessible because he was a fusion fragment champion. But Richtoff, let's get back to him, man. He got a huge buff a few months ago, and not many people talked about it. He's a legendary champion, so you don't see a lot of people just going out of their way for champions that a lot of people don't own to really make, updated guides on after these champions receive balance changes. But man, let me tell you how huge of a buff he received. So his A2 is a 3-turn cooldown. We'll take a look at it in a second. 3-turn cooldown that lands 3 poisons on every target. You just saw it right there. 3 poisons on every target on a 3-turn cooldown. What? That's insane, man. I mean, Bad L's A2 has the continuous heal, which is amazing, the Malice ability, but it also has 2 poisons on every target on a 3-turn cooldown. So he is really one of the biggest poison layers in the game now, Richtoff the Bold. They changed that from a single target 3 poisons. So it used to be put 3 poisons on 1 target. Now it's 3 poisons on every target. Not just that, but they even buffed him more than that. On his A1, it's an AoE attack. So he's an AoE attack on his A1, and he has the AoE poisons on the A2. But on the A1, it's an AoE, and it used to decrease each champion's max HP by 10% of the damage dealt. Now it's 30% of the damage dealt. So decrease each champion's max HP by 30% of the damage dealt on an AoE attack. Man, They gave him a huge buff. He was kind of a crappy champion, but now, good God, they also they totally changed his A3. His A3 used to be attacks one enemy, copies a random debuff on the target, and places it on all enemies. So kind of a lukewarm debuff spread ability. They changed it. Attack one enemy, critical damage increases by 20% for each poison debuff on the target, stacks up to 100%. So you can get double your damage on a hard-hitting ability on his A3. Now, granted, his A3 isn't insane, still, even with dealing more damage. But you guys are going to see at the end here, I think you'll be very impressed with both Saito and Richtoff the Bold. Let's take a look at their damage here. So, as we kind of alluded to, foreshadowed here, we have Drockle just doing a heck of a ton of support there. I mean, an incredible support champion. We'll take a look at his kit again, kind of remind you guys why, or I'll try to make the case for, I don't get why people were hating on him so much, man. People hated a lot on Drockle, said he was a crap fusion, blah, 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 blah. Warchief, Richtoff the Bold, Warchief put up 450, Drockle put up 210 damage, okay? Richtoff the Bold, 2.1 million. Oh my word, dude, I ran Richtoff the Bold in Dragon 20. Anti-affinity. This is spirit versus magic affinity. And he was still my heaviest damage dealer, man, because he's still landing a lot of those poisons. Lydia does not have War Master at 300k damage, not built out to be a damage dealer here in today's video. And Saito is in pretty good Savage gear at 1.4 million damage. So again, I mean, damage isn't the be-all end-all, but wow, Richtoff the Bold. What a champ, guys. Am I drooling enough over this dude yet? Do you guys get the, do you guys get it loud and clear how much I love this guy? He is a hidden gem if I've ever seen one in the legendary category, right? Let's kind of go through these dudes one at a time, and I will kind of rank them and give my opinions. So starting out with Lydia the Deathsiren. So we were trying her out in all kinds of different builds. This is an arena build for her on kind of a resist team right now, so not very fair to her in that Ice Golem matchup to kind of show what she's capable of. I'll show you one quick arena battle in case you missed yesterday's video. It was like 40 minutes long. We did a lot of Platinum Arena kind of game strategy or whatever, just kind of with her, switching her out in different builds. Anyway, we have her built out with double speed set, accuracy set. We'll take a look at her total stats: 47k HP, almost 4k on defense, 227 speed, very fast, into a 490 resistance with 291 accuracy. So take a look at her skills. I mean, we'll be here all day if we read this out, but basically fear and increased poison sensitivity. This will trigger her A1 every single time an ally is freeze, stun, fear, or true fear. And it will go multi, it can be an AoE as well, depending on how many fears or freezes or stuns were landed on your allies. On the A2, Siren's Wail, it's an AoE attack, plus the decreased defense, plus the weaken on all enemies, plus a strengthen, plus the increased speed on all allies on a 3-turn cooldown. Insane. Nullification is an insane ability of 2, attacks one enemy 2 times, lands points and sensitivity. On the first hit, second hit, block buffs and block cooldown skills for 2 turns. Death's Hold is a deny revival. Insane. You know, you guys probably already know. If you want to know more about Lydia the Deathsiren, check out yesterday's video. But again, she's the champion that you get from Faction Wars, 3-starring them all. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about her because I just talked about her a lot in yesterday's video. We messed around a lot with the masteries here, but we ended on Unshakable. Again, to build her in a high resist team, she'll benefit from Master Hexer because of her weaken and her decreased defense, and of course Lasting Gifts because of her speed and defense, increased speed and defense buffs. So yeah, man, I mean, obviously she's a beast, right? I mean, I'm going to be using her on my main Spider team, probably on my main, well, I'm not going to end up using her on my Dragon 20 team. Probably will use her on Ice Golem 20 because of the block revival of the minions of the Ice Golem, and I'll be using her in the arena, certainly on tag team and on my main arena team as well. So Lydia the Deathsiren, I'll show you an arena battle with her after. Next up is going to be, obviously she's number 1 out of these 5 champions, if I'm going to rank them. But in terms of if I had to choose one. But again, Richtoff is insane if you just want a huge damage dealer for dungeons, you know? Let's go to Saito number 2. So Saito, I will rank him number 4 out of these champions, not because he's not great. I think he's a great champion. He's really cool. He does a ton of damage. He's fun in the arena. He's, you know, usable basically anywhere, provided the affinity works for you guys. I have him built out in pretty good gear. I thought it was savage, just not. Crit rate, speed, crit damage. You can see his total stats here, a little bit shy of the 100% crit rate, 275 crit damage though, and 5,100 attack. So very, very high on the attack because I do have attack percentage boots on him. I was able to get a lot of speed from other gear, or at least a little bit of speed from other gear. Probably should have a little bit more. And I put him in some, you know, pretty crazy gear too. So his skills are decreased defense on a 2-hitter on the A1. On the A2, Enduring Warrior, attack one enemy. Before attacking, has increased attack and increased crit damage on himself for 2 turns if his defense is higher than the champion's defense. Decrease the cooldown of one of the skill for 1 turn on the enemy if we have more than 50% after the first attack. So it's an interesting champion where you almost want his defense to be higher than the target's defense, but that's kind of weird because, again, his base defense is solid at 1178, so I guess I would just prioritize. If I could redo his gear, I'm not even sure how much thought I put into this when I was building him out. He doesn't have... Yeah, I tried to prioritize defense where I could find it, you know, just to have it scale a little bit better so we could trigger that increased crit damage, increased attack. Army Breaker on his A3 attacks 1 enemy, then attacks all enemies except the initial target if there are 3 or more enemies alive. So again, kind of a dungeon nuker type ability. Inflicts 20% more damage on this champion, on the first hit, excuse me, if the target has higher max HP than this champion. Okay, which is good too, because 20% more damage on the first hit makes this Army Breaker viable against bosses, right? And it has really great multipliers on it as well. Vendetta will ignore 7.5 of the enemy defense for each time this champion attacks the same enemy in consecutive attacks or turns. So again, he's kind of a nuker for waves in dungeons, but he also has that added utility between the Vendetta and between the Army Breaker that he actually does well against bosses as well. So that's really cool to have in his kit. He also has, an aura, ally attack in dungeons by 30%. And shame on me, I forgot to do his masteries. So he's even better than what we saw there, but I would obviously go down the offense tree, probably just go War Master on this champion, and he's landing decreased defense on his A1, so probably go support as well, and just kind of go the traditional route. So yeah, that's Saito. Obviously crit damage here on the, do I even have his skills all booked out? I do have his skills all booked out. I just don't have the masteries. My bad on that, guys. My bad. But either way, I rank him 4th out of these champions, but there's some incredible champions here. Saito is a guy that, you know, is really solid at what he does, but I'm just have a crush on Richtoff. I have a crush on him. I'm going to rank Richtoff number 2 or number 3. How can you compare him to Drockle the Gaunt? Because one is an all-out support champion, one is an all-out damage-dealing champion. Really, there's no comparison between these top 4 champions, you know? Of course, yes, I'd most like to have Lydia, but man, you just can't rank, you know, it's apples and oranges. You can't rank them together. You can't rank them against each other. But if I had to choose one champion to have, I think I would go with Drockle over Richtoff, just because I think it's always safer to go with an OP support champion, whereas damage dealers, you know, they're kind of a dime a dozen. But with all the poisons, he's a unique damage dealer in my opinion. So like I told you guys, now it's 30% instead of 10% on decreasing target's max HP, and that's damage inflicted on an AoE attack on the A1. Bloodletting is attack one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. Dude, that was insane how many poisons he had. In Curse Hold, as I told you guys, critical damage increases by 20% for each poison debuff on the target, stacks up to 100%. Aura is attack and faction crypts, whatever. So yeah, man, we went War Master on this champion. Obviously, you want Master Hexer on this champion to extend poisons. Really, really valuable as well. So yeah, that's Richtoff the Bold, man. He's a champ, man. He is, dude. Oh man, I have his, I'm such an idiot, guys. I should actually look at these videos before, because I've changed gear around so many times trying to beat Faction Wars. So that was him putting out 2.whatever million damage with a 51% crit rate. Ash, what the hell are you doing, bro? What the hell are you doing? I should probably just re-record this video, but I have to pick up my son, so I can't. But either way, guys, yeah, he should put out so much more damage, because again, his A3 hits pretty hard, in with that huge damage stack on top of it. And then on the A1, it's an AoE attack. You know, like, come on, Ash, dude. And his attack is so low. God, I just need to rebuild this champion. However, you can see the poisons alone carried most of that 2 point whatever million damage from Richtoff. So Richtoff is definitely a champ that I'm really a big fan of. Anybody out there have Richtoff? Anybody out there use Richtoff? Let me know I'm not alone, please. All right, so next up is going to be Drockle the Gaunt. Tell me what I'm missing, why this dude gets hate, you know? Because I did a tier list lookup before today's video just to see where everybody else ranks this champion, and then I took a look at a few other YouTube videos, you know, and dude, like I don't know all the answers. I'm not like the #1 expert in Raid Shadow Legends, but damn, I can't find anything negative to say about this dude. A ton of HP, 23k base HP, very high. His attack is low. Who cares? His damage is only on his A1 and it's based off of HP. He has a decent defense, a little low, 1057 for kind of a support type champion, and then high speed at 107. Okay, in terms of his skill set here, dude, it's pretty simple. He's just a beast in terms of support. He has a 30% chance of placing a stun on the A1, damage again based off of HP. On the A2, this is an insane ability, man. Increase attack buff, 3-turn cooldown. Increase attack buff, increase defense buff for 2 turns. Also plays, this is very handy to have, also plays a block damage buff for 1 turn on all allies with less than 30% HP. That has saved me in Faction Wars a few times, you know. It's especially with progression in Doom Tower, I could picture taking this dude and putting him in specific teams where I'm struggling to just stay alive, because between the increased attack and strong version of increased defense with the block damage on a 3-turn, that's solid. And then it keeps getting better. On Runestone Blessing on his A3, places a shield buff equal to 15% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 3 turns. Also as a passive, heals each ally by 15% of this champion's max HP whenever a shield buff placed by this skill expires, is removed, or is broken by an enemy attack. Allies whose shields buff are broken will also counterattack the enemy that breaks the shield. When a shield is broken, the heal occurs instantly before any remaining damage from the shield breaking attack is taken. All right, let me just kind of go over that. That's really a sick ability. I love this ability. I kind of love this champion's kit overall. It's a really unique support kit. He has that shield 50% of his max HP. When the shield is broken, not only are they healed by another 15% of his HP, but they're also going to counterattack. And that heal is going to happen before they take the damage. Really solid champ, man. Ally HP in all battles by 25%. You can see I ran him as my aura lead in that last battle. So I don't have him built out to do any damage on my team. I have Retribution to maybe get a stun off on the A1, and I actually went with Timely Intervention. He's a champion that actually, you know, you need lasting gifts on him. Like, that should be the #1 priority. But other than that, you know, he's masteries, even tier 6 masteries, you know, you don't even need one, really. I mean, increases champion's turn meter by 20% whenever an ally hero drops below 25%. I want a Timely Intervention on him just to help, again, kind of with the heals, getting all this shield, all the shield masteries kind of in this corner over here on the support tree is going to be important too. But, you know, a fairly easy champion to build. Again, I didn't build him with a ton, build him with a ton of HP, you know. This is going to be 15k shield almost, 14k shield, and a 14k heal every single time with the counterattack too. It's really nice to have. His crit rate is very low. Again, didn't really build him to be a damage dealer. So that's a Drockle the Gaunt. I think that, you know, I don't know, calling him a hidden gem, I don't know if it's fair or not, but to me, he's definitely a cool champion. So we've done Drockle, we've done Richtoff, we've done we haven't done Warchief. All right, Warchief, you suck. What are the reviews on this dude? Meh. Anyway, I put him in a shield set only because I was using him in Faction Wars. I wanted extra utility out of him, and, you know, 19k HP, he was like my best option or whatever, you know. I wouldn't recommend him necessarily in a shield set, generally speaking, but, you know, whatever you have to do to get through Faction Wars. 227 accuracy on this dude. He's landing a lot of provokes. His speed is all right. His damage is based off defense, so 3,500 is a little low to be fair, but I also wanted to get a little bit damage out of him, so I went crit rate on the gauntlets. He doesn't have like the best gear on my account or anything like that. So speed on the boots as well. On his A1, brutal force. You guys tell me if I'm missing anything with this dude, but he just doesn't do it for me, man. His kit feels very epic-ish. Heck, you know, like, just, I don't know. Attacks one enemy 3 times, has a 25%, 35% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense, okay? And then Marauder attacks 1 enemy, places a provoke debuff for 3 turns, steals 2 random buffs from the target. It's a good ability, don't get me wrong, because a provoke for 3 turns basically takes that enemy out of the fight, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown, Marauder. But that's it. He steals 2 buffs. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's a great ability, but that's it. You know, his passive is solid, but it's like reflects 60% of the damage taken back to the attacker. Defense increases by 15% for each dead ally. So again, it's a good passive, but I don't know, man. I mean, you'd think 60% of the damage back to the attacker would be like, holy crap, like that's insane. Even in Arena, like why not use him in Arena on kind of a defense-based team and give 60% of that damage back to Skullcrown? But it's only 60% of the damage taken by him, not on so on a strong AoE attack, it's not as much as you think. I'm not like able to like reflect back and kill, you know, a Skullcrowns or Trundas or whatever. I tried him out, you know, in tag team just to, you know, maybe there's something there, but there's just really, it's underwhelming. And his whole kit to me is underwhelming, especially when there's, you know, Rockbreaker out there who I can use with a unique A1 as well, who also has an AoE provoke. Granted, not for 3 turns, but I can take every enemy out of the battle. I don't know, Warchief for me just doesn't do it at all. I just went with extra defense and Iron Skin on this champion. Also went with the Sniper. I went with Sniper, why, is the question. He has Provoke, and that's it. So Sniper's not going to work on him. Way to go there, Ash, again. It's funny when you notice these mistakes that you make. So don't want Provoke. It's not going to work on. It's not going to work on Sniper. It will not increase the chance of landing. Stun, Sleep, Freeze, Fear, True Fear, or Provoke. So I'm going to have to redo his masteries, and I'm not going to pay the gems right now. But either way, I don't see myself using this champion, really, as currently constituted. What do you guys think? Is Warchief your least favorite out of these champions, too? I think he's trash, but shame on me for having Sniper on him. I feel kind of embarrassed on that. And on having Richtoff at 50% crit rate, or whatever he was at. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video with a classic arena battle. I will show you a quick attack here using Lydia in kind of a nuke team here, a nuke comp. Sorry, I didn't notice my my camera's a little blurry there. So I still think like I'd rather have, I talked about this in yesterday's video, I still think I'd rather have like a Madame Ceres in this role. But having the weekend is really nice to have as well. It's going to easily allow Trunda to one-shot everybody. Trunda can pretty much one-shot everybody no matter, even if there's not a debuffer on the team. That's how strong she is as a nuker in this game. But, you know, I mean, she's not bad for a kind of a debuffer on a speed team. My thought process was no one really uses Dracomorph. It's nice to have the strengthen, though, and the increased speed. So, extra utility. I don't know. I can definitely see people using her as part of a nuke comp, as kind of the debuffer on a nuke comp. Plus, she does a little bit of damage herself, so it's definitely a great build for her. Let's go ahead and show you my other team with her. It's in tag team. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, I don't want to use... Wait a second here. Don't I have any refills? I don't have any tag team refills right now. So, guys, let me know. Before I end this video, what do you think? Should I buy this stupid thing? I've been saving my my medals. I have 85,000 almost. 100,000 gold medals for this avatar. I've never bought an avatar ever in this game. Or I've never done anything with avatars. I've been using this dude, I forgot even his name, since the beginning of the game. And I've never woken up to get a platinum avatar either. I've never woken up at like 5 a.m. So, should I buy it? What do you guys think? Let me know. Anyway, let's show you one battle with Lydia. Any other guy that I could use in today's comp in the arena? Not really. I don't really think... I guess Saito would be the dude. So let's put him in too. Let's put him in for Trunda and see what he can do in the arena. Let me know if you like these longer-ish videos. Oh, they go first. That's not good. That's not good at all. Looks like we're just going to die instead. Alright. So they outspeeded me. Nothing you can do there. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to this team. And then I'll show you the kind of the defense team that I've been running right now with Lydia. and then we will end the video. So there she goes. And let's do this A3 Army Breaker. Let's see how much damage you can put out here. Boom. 161,000 and 80,000. Wow. Dude. Saito, my man. That was pretty impressive. And he's not in the Savage Gear, and he's not in Helm Smasher either. Definitely 2 changes I would make. Let's do one more with Saito. That was impressive as hell, wasn't it? I didn't even expect it to be that high. Let's see if that was an aberration or... because, you know, that team could have just really sucked in terms of having no defense whatsoever. Let's see again. Granted, they did have weakened and decreased defense. Let's try his A2 first this time. What do you think? Now let's just try the A3 again. It was so much fun to watch. All right, let's go this way. Boom, boom. 137,000 and 85,000. Dude, I'm thinking it was not an aberration. This guy's just an absolute beast. Let's take down Skullcrown first. Wow. Let's see. Is he gonna take another turn here? He is. Let's let him take another turn and see how much damage he does on the A2 here. Boom. 133,000. Good God. Now I want to do another one with Saito. But that freeze is gonna be an issue. Wow. Holy moly, huh guys? Let's do it on this one. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, Saito, you can bump up in the rankings a little bit, dude. I have not tried him in Arena yet. Before right now. And I gotta say, I'm a little impressed. Got a couple resists there that time. Let's still go after Duchess. Boom, 61,000. We kill Razin. We almost kill Duchess. Now let's see if we can beat this team here. We'll revive. If anything, just giving another target for Rotos to target. And then let's try to block cooldown skills on Duchess here. And we got a couple resists. Again, I don't have the accuracy quite high enough on my Lydia. I changed it in for resist, but I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Should I go accuracy or should I go, boom, 46,000. Thank you very much. What would you go with Lydia? What would you guys recommend? High resist on a defense team or kind of in this role on kind of a nuking team? Those are our options. So I'm really going to need Saito to kill Rotos here. So I'm actually going to pick him back up because I don't want... I'm going to go off auto, I should say, because I don't want anything crazy happening here. All right, let's get that speed off of... we don't even land it. All right, this is A1 now. Let's see how much damage we can do here. Boom, 20,000 on the first hit, and that's all we needed. All right, I'm going to show you one more. This video is going a little bit longer than I intended it to go, but man, this is fun, dude. I'm so impressed with Saito. That time on a very high defense, Scylla the Drakes, we did not hit that hard in the A1, but he'll probably finish her right now. I think his A3 is back up on cooldown. Let's see. Boom! That was the A2. 100,000 damage, not too bad. All right, let me show you that last team here, guys. Let's see. We'll put her back in the lead, take everybody back out. And I've been running her with Valkyrie, Mountain King in shield set, and Duchess. Duchess in Siphi. So that's what I've been running. Of course, I can run Krisk instead of Mountain King, but we'll be here all day. We'll still be here all day no matter what. I don't want to run Mountain King because of the 2 spirits anyway. So let's just put... This is probably going to be one of those battles where we set it and forget it. I mean, like, we would just go on defense on a bat. I mean, normally this would be a defensive team, and I wouldn't waste my time for half an hour. But let's see what we can do here anyway. I'll keep it on for about a minute, and then I'll come back to you at the end, because it's going to be a long haul. Because a team like this really has a challenge killing Duchess, you know? Of course, we could run like a Trunda as the 4th instead of a Valkyrie or instead of a Krisk on a team like this. But of course, that does take away a little bit from our defensive capabilities, especially if we're running a team like this on defense, arena defense, whether it's in tag team or the arena. But you can see all these buffs, like good luck doing any damage to this team, right? And that's what I want to do. Kind of want to scare teams off by annoying them with a ton of, defense, a ton of resist, and obviously like buffs on buffs on buffs. The weird thing too, though, is having her in a super high resist build alongside Siphi, it makes some sense, but we do have the block debuffs as well up there. So does she need to be in all-out resist, or do I go pinpoint accuracy so she's landing more of these debuffs more frequently? She's at like 291 accuracy. I could get her up to 340 or so if I went with pinpoint accuracy. So there's definitely some options there, but either way, guys, I'm probably just going to come back to you because Duchess is going to keep reviving everybody. Actually, we'll be able to lock revival one time. Let's see if that's enough here before I cut. So she's going to try to revive right now, and it's going to be denied. Denied, you saw right there. So now that's already on, what, a 4-turn cooldown again? 5-turn cooldown, is it, for Duchess, her revival? So hopefully we can kill her in 5 turns. Or 4 turns. Wow! Okay. Oh, we denied! My bad on that. I saw the one denial, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. We denied the Tormund revival, but not the Duchess revival. But, and she's in, oh, that was the, Saint Nick ability there too. All right, this is going to be a long one. Be right back. Oops, sorry guys. As you can see, I beat them 4 seconds ago. It took 5 minutes, so and I accidentally closed off the screen. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video now. Hope you enjoyed kind of the long form format, just talking about these 5 champions. Let me know which one of these champions is at the top of your wish list. I guess aside from Lydia. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.